Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to give our praises, honor, glory to the Most High God. Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shah, my name is Pad. Feel what I'm saying? With angels of Yahweh. I got big priest with me.
God, the priest Kazak Magun, the angels of Yahweh, right? Coming to y'all live, man, with another lesson, man. We back down with, the spirit. The spirit didn't had us going through some things, but the spirit didn't let us right back to it. We can't stop doing what the Lord wants us to do. We can't put that on the back burner. We gotta go out here and feed the sheep.
Hey,
You
yo, your
know,
mic kind of fucked up, man.
my mic messed up. Mic check, mic check. Hold on, let me
Shit
check it
sound like
real
an
quick.
alien.
Let me check it real quick. Hold on. On real quick, real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, your shit straight now.
It's good now? Hold on, let me check it. Hold on.
Yeah. You good, man.
Shit straight. It's good now? Hold on, let me check it. All right, cool. Yeah, we good. All right, so through the spirit and power, y'all, Bashim Yahweh Shai, man, we gonna give y'all the understanding, right, on a couple topics, right? We gonna go into how this place is doomed for destruction, right? And how it's on its last leg, it's on its way out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, right? Like I said, we the angels of Yahweh, man. Brothers peep the all black edition. Got the hats going on, man. A's up, right? God. So we gonna get into it, man. Right. So yeah, so tomorrow, if you don't know, today is it's July 3rd right now. Tomorrow is July 4th, 4th of July, right? And what is July 4th? July 4th is the national day of commemorating the birth of a nation, right? The birth of an empire, right? And what empire? We're talking about Babylon the Great, America, right? First of all, this place, right? The birth of this empire, it had to go through damn near 3 wars to get us to come into fruition. And that was all through prophecy, right? Let's go to Daniel 7, right? We rolling through the spirit right now. The Lord just put this on me to just say this right quick. Let's go to Daniel 7 through the spirit.
Your mic back fucked up. I don't know what's going on.
It's back messed up.
Yeah.
Well, is it
Yeah,
still
it's
messed
getting a
up?
little robotic. Now you straight. Keep
Oh,
going
okay.
in and out.
Lord willing to understand it, still get brought forth.
And by every video we do, I notice my mic is all fucked up. So if y'all in the comments, let me know if my shit's straight. We're gonna get Daniel 7. What verse you want?
Let's go to verse 7 and the fourth beast. Let's start at the fourth beast. Yeah. Let's start
Daniel
at the
7
fourth
and verse 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It
Right.
devoured and brake in pieces.
Right. So when you read Daniel 7, right, it's going into Daniel, who the Lord was dealing with deeply, right? Daniel is considered one of the major prophets, right? One of the 4 major prophets, right? You have Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel, and Ezekiel, right? Those are the 4 major prophets. So in the book of Daniel, right, in chapter 7, also in chapter 2 as well, the Lord gave Daniel kind of like the same prophecy, right? First was the vision that Nebuchadnezzar had in his dream, and the Lord allowed the great prophet Daniel to break it down, the vision of the statue, showing all the great kingdoms that will come about, throughout the ages and the times, right? The Lord also gave Daniel that vision, right, but gave it to him in the form of beasts coming upon the earth, ruling and having dominion upon the earth, right? Having empires established, right? So when you get to this fourth beast, well, it started off with the Babylonian Assyrian Empire, right? That's the lion with the eagle's wing, right? Then you had, what was it? What was it? A bear? It was a bear, I believe, right? Which represented, wait, not, it wasn't a bear, was it? Go up real quick. Was it a bear? Yeah, Khan. The second beast. Khan. The second beast was a bear, right? Speaking about the Medo-Persian Empire, right? And third, you had the leopard, right, which represents the Grecian Empire, the Greeks. And then fourth, you had this fourth beast, who we're going to go into now, is representing the Roman Empire, right? The age of the Roman Empire, and that's the age that we're in now. But we're at the tail end of it with a little horn, right? Which is an extension of the Roman Empire, which we're about to go into now. You got it, King.
I'm gonna keep reading this. Let me know if Kazak's mic is variable, because to me he sound all robotic, but I can make out what he's saying. So let me know how y'all think about it. All right, I'm gonna start back at verse 7. After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It
Right?
devoured and brake in
Salakia.
pieces.
So the great iron teeth that devour and break in pieces, that's talking about the army, right? The military strategy, the military of the Roman Empire. It was never nothing seen like it before, right? It had great iron teeth. That's the military might, right? He said it's choppy. Come on, let me see. I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. I don't want it to be choppy. It could be because of the storm. It's currently a storm going on. Cause I ain't changed none of the settings on the computer. Let me see. Hold on, real quick.
And I know you got the headphones on,
Yeah.
but you can keep the headphones while you change the mic.
Okay. Let me see. Hold on, real quick. You can click the mic settings. See, Satan come up immediately and take away the word, man. Knowing we finna get into some fire shit. Okay. Let me see. Microphone. Device.
There we go again. It's in and out. Cause before we started streaming, your shit was straight.
Set up the screen, y'all. Let me see. So I ain't did nothing different.
All you have to do is go to settings, audio, go to mic, and try to change what mic you're using.
Soon, hold on. I still sound choppy right now.
Yeah. Sound like you're speaking through the fan. Can't hear nothing.
You don't hear nothing?
Okay, now I hear you.
How I sound? Am I choppy still?
Keep talking.
Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check, Kwam Yasha Allah. Mic check, Kwam Yasha Allah.
Yeah, you straight, but it seems to start back getting staticky. But
Again, staticky again.
it's better than it was before.
Let me see, hold on. Turn my AC off.
That don't got nothing to do with it, cuz.
Huh?
That ain't got
No,
nothing to do with it.
cause I'm seeing the mic thing. It's jumping up and down. I don't know if that's cause of the sound. I don't know. Well, let me see. Hold on. But do you hear me?
Yes, it sound good right now.
It sound good.
Yeah, we can throw that bitch up.
Mic check, mic check. All of y'all how I'm sounding. Mic check, mic check. Let me check it out, man. Mic check, mic check. Let me check it out, man. All right, brother said it sound good. So all right, we go roll with it through the spirit. So where I was at, we was at Daniel 7, right?
Huh.
All right, come. I'm on my fitted hat and do rag shit like 50 Cent, man, bulletproof.
Man.
Richard die trying, man. Be an angel or die trying. Make the kingdom or die trying. Hey, that's a bar right there. Make the kingdom or die trying. Oh, wait. But con.
I
All
bet
right,
you.
let's get into
So we
Daniel
just
7.
right, we just got into how the Iron Teeth represents the military power of the Roman army. I'm gonna read this again from the jump. After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
Right, and it had 10 horns, right? And those ten horns represent the 10 common markets, right, of the European Union. Right. Let's keep going.
Verse 8, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold,
Right.
in this horn were
Salakia.
eyes.
Salakia. So this is just the point where I wanted to hit on, because this is speaking about America, right? It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, right? So meaning this little horn came up from among those 10 horns, right? And it says, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. So three of the first horns, right? They had to get plucked out, meaning taken out of power, right? A horn represents power, right? Let's grab to show that a horn represents power. Let's go to the Luke 1 and 68, just to grab that a horn represents power. Because we have a horn, right? As Israelites, right? As the nation of Israel, Yasha Allah, we have a horn. You was right there.
This is Luke 1, yeah, 68. Blessed be the Lord, God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
Right. He raised up a horn of salvation, a power of salvation. Right. Who's our power of salvation? That's talking about Yahweh Shah. Right. He raised them up in the house of David. Right. That's the lineage that Yahweh Shah was born in. Right. So a horn represents power. Right. So basically, right, when we going back to Daniel 7, and we can go back there. Right. When we go back to Daniel 7, this little horn had plucked up three horns to come into fruition. Right now, we're going to go into the wars in which America had to fight, right? In which the 13 colonies, or what they call the settlers or whatever, had to go through the wars, right, to become the nation that it is today, right? And those three wars are, I believe, you had what was it? They had to defeat the French, they had to defeat the Spanish, and they had to defeat Great Britain, right? If I'm not mistaken, we could look that up and fact check that, right? But those are the three horns that had to been plucked up by the roots, right? In order for this nation to be what it is today. Did you look that up?
Let me look it up.
Come on.
Now you got the American Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783. Then you got the American Civil War from 1861 to 1865. Then you got the World War II, 1941 to 1945. Uh, you got the Spanish War, World War One, World War II.
Okay, well, let me see. Hold on. I don't see it on your screen. Right, but it would be the so we had to fight the French, or we had to go through the French, right? Basically, which resulted in that was the Louisiana Purchase, right? So the power was taken from Louisiana, right? And then we had to go through what was that? We had to acquire the Spanish territory, right, from Spain. Well, I'm saying we. I don't know why the hell I'm saying we. Right? They had to they had to acquire the Spanish territory from Spain, right? And also who was it? Right? Great Britain had rule, right? They had to get from the English as well, right? Because my people, we was in chains at that time, you know. So
Yeah, I had the word, the question right. Great Britain, France, and Spain.
mhm.
But you on point with it.
Hold on real quick.
Might go into something else momentarily. I don't know how long he gonna hold on. Figure that.
All right, Con. Where we at with it now?
That. But we in verse 8.
Okay, Con. Right. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before who Slakia. There were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of men, and a mouth speaking great things, right? And this America, right, it has a mouth that speaks great things, right? Through its political system, through its ways of life and philosophies. This place speaks great things, right? It says that God loves this place. What they say, God bless America, and God we trust, right? Those are great things to be speaking, right? And on the left hand side, this same nation, this same country, enslaved God's people, right? How you gonna say God bless America, but you have God's people enslaved? How you gonna say in God we trust, but you have God's people? You're committing genocide against God's people, right? That's speaking great words, right? That's them. They're rising themselves up as God, so that all the people see them as God. He set up in the temple as God, right? So that he could be seen as God, right? As it says in what is that? Second Thessalonians, the second chapter, right? Paraphrasing, but what I was finna go to, what we was about to do. Let's go to Habakkuk chapter 2 real quick, right? Because this place is on its way out, and the Lord gave us a sign of that about 2 years ago, right? He gave us a sign of that, right? Let's read. Let's start at verse. We can start at verse 1 for real.
Habakkuk 2 and verse 1. I
Yeah.
will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me,
Mm.
and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Right.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not
Right.
lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
Right, because the word of the Lord doesn't come back void. Right. The vision is for an appointed time. The Lord said, but at the end it shall speak, right, and not lie. Like I just said, like the scriptures say, the word of the Lord doesn't come back void. It say just like, and it's raining right now outside. Just like the rain comes down from the clouds, right, and don't go back up. That's how the word of the Lord is. It comes down and it accomplishes that what the Lord pleases. Right. So basically, the word, the prophecy of America being destroyed, the prophecy of Babylon the Great, being destroyed by thermonuclear fire is guaranteed to happen because the Lord is not a man that he should lie, right? The Lord is not a man. You had something you was finna say?
The prophets depict the Most High's word like an arrow that shoots and doesn't come back.
Right.
Once it's shot, shit. You better duck, nigga. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. That arrow ain't no boomerang. It don't come back. You know what they got? The white man got boomerangs, and he throw it, and then it loop around and come back. No, the Lord's prophecies don't do that. It don't miss the target and then come back. It accomplishes what the Lord says it's gonna do. Right? When he shoot that arrow, it's gonna go into the heart of the victim, which he intended it to go into. Right? Let's keep going on this.
Verse 4, behold, his watch which is lifted up is not upright in him,
His soul.
but the just shall live.
You said his watch or something like that? I say his soul.
Yeah, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Right, his
also
soul.
Because he
No, go ahead.
Verse 5, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell. Right? And a different passage of the prophet says that wouldn't he leave some grapes if he comes and gathers the grapes?
Right, the gate gathers.
Enlarges his desire as hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
And is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people.
Right. Because Esau, right, who is the leader of Babylon the Great, right? This is spiritual Edom. This is actual Babylon the Great, the spiritual Egypt, right? Spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, all up under Esau, right? It say he heapeth unto him all people. He enlarges his desire as hell. He can't have enough, right? This is why you see he got the American territories of Puerto Rico, right? Trump, he wanted to go and have boots on the ground in damn Cuba, and Cuba is not even an American territory, right? He got boots on the ground everywhere, and all of these different countries and all these different domains, right? He's trying to enlarge his desire as hell. What he just said a couple months back, we finna take Greenland. That's him enlarging his desire as hell. Right? We go take Greenland. I don't give a damn what Canada got to say about it or what Denmark got to say about it or whatever. I'm finna take that country. Right? He wanna have tariffs, deep tariffs over Canada. Go ahead, King.
I was just gonna point out how those are the 10 horns, and that's also a reason why the 10 horns are coming against the whore as prophecy depicts.
Exactly. Because you biting the hands that, well, I can't say biting the hands that feed you, but you lash. It's like a hit dog. It's lashing out against the people that's in the corner with it. Like a hit dog, a dog that's snapped, that's mad, like not mad as in angry, but mad as in his mind is not right. It's biting people that's trying to help it, and that's America right now. Because the Lord, as it said in Isaiah 19, the Lord mingled a perverse spirit in the heart of Pharaoh and in the midst of this country, right? So with that being said, it's like a mad dog, and it's lashing out against its own countrymen, it's against its own fellows and all of that, right? And that's going to result in the 10 horns hating the whore, like the brother just brought out, and that's going to cause the downfall of this place. It's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful how it's happening, right? But what I was just getting ready to say, Salakia. right? It says he enlarges his desire as hell and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people, right? You have all different kinds of nations, coming to this place, right? Starting from in the damn early, 1900s with Ellis Island, right? Starting off from the 13 colonies. They're not even native to this place, but they came, right? The Spaniards, they were here, right? The French and the Portuguese, they were here, right? So this place is a melting pot. You got all these different cultures in one place, just like Babylon, just like ancient Babylon. When the Lord went down there, when the Lord sent the angels down there and confounded the languages, right? That shows that it was different cultures in that place. It was a melting pot. That's how we know this is Babylon the Great, because it's the same thing, right? You could go and you got like in Chicago, we got Chinatown. You're not gonna find too much English speaking in Chinatown. You go find it there, but what do you see on all of the stores? It's Chinese writing, right? That's another language. That's another tongue. This place is a diversity of tongues, just like it was in ancient Babylon, right? So that shows that this is Babylon the Great, the land of confusion. It's not just set on one thing. It's a whole bunch of things coming together that really don't agree with each other. You had something?
Oh, you keep going.
All right, come. We can keep reading.
I'm gonna read this again. I consider the whole. No, we're in Habakkuk. I'm on his own text.
Right.
I bet. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, "Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his! How long unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay?"
All right, that laid up himself with thick clay, and that thick clay is talking about debt when you go into it in the Hebrew, right? It's talking about debt. So the so-called white man and the rulers of this country, they increase that which is not theirs, right? They steady going and trying to take territories, trying to sanction other countries, trying to control the Strait of Hormuz when it's not theirs, right? Trying to change the name of the damn Gulf of Mexico, right, when it don't belong to them, right? What did he change the name to? Gulf of America or something like that. I don't. He changed it. Yeah, it's something weird like that. But it's the Gulf of Mexico, bro. Like that belonged to Mexico. But how you finna change the name of it, right? So this is crazy. And then how they took, and we can go back in time, right? How they took California from the Mexicans, right? It wasn't that all that was Mexico. You had California, you had Arizona, New Mexico, right? Texas, all of that was considered Mexico, right? And then the so-called white man came and took it and made it his country, made it part of America, made it the West Coast, right? And then they went over there and had the gold rush in the 1800s, 1849, right? So basically, with that being said, this man, he enlarges his desire as hell, and he increases that which is not his. And it says, "And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay," and that's talking about the debt, right? Now, real quick, if we could get, before we go into the first tab, right? If we could get how much debt America is in, real quick. Let's just get in the ballpark. How much debt America is in.
Let's look it up. $39.4 trillion. It amounts
30?
to over 115,000 per person. That shit don't got shit to do with me, but
Yeah, I don't got nothing to do with
40
me.
trillion.
Right.
40 trillion, kid.
So the nation as a whole is 39.4 trillion. Let's just say 40 trillion in debt. Right. The nation as a whole is 40 trillion in debt. But they coming at you when you don't file your taxes for 1 year. You don't file your taxes for 1 year, they coming at you talking about you owe this and that. You owe, however many, however much hundred, however many bands, and they'll lock you up for that. You miss a couple child support payments, they lock you up. They take your license and they lock you up for that. Right? You don't pay your court fees. they can very well lock you up for that. You know, all these different things. But the country as a whole is in debt. This is a hypocritical
That's how
nation.
much. Yeah,
Go ahead.
that's how much debt America is in with these other nations. How much debt is America in with the Most High? That's what niggas need to
Exactly.
worry about. If it's 40
Exactly.
trillion with these other nations, man, just imagine how much it is with the Most High.
Right. And just like how in what you read about in what is that, Genesis 19, right? It said the cry of Sodom is going up to the Lord repeatedly, right? Imagine the cry of America going up to the Lord. Imagine how the Lord looking at this place, right? Sodom and Gomorrah, that was just 5 cities, right? America, this is a whole landmass. Each state could be considered a country. Each state
Man,
could be considered a country.
you know what? Unfortunately, the outside world that we see on a day to day, man, the prison system, niggas don't know how fucked up that shit be till you really in that shit.
So you
Or till
really
you
in
got
there.
somebody in there and they telling you through the prison phone, woo the whoop.
Mhm.
Man, for real. Facing
Uh,
death, for real.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Even though I ain't do prison time, but I did county time, right? And like I said, it's crazy. That place, it feel like it's designed to be like a mental institution. It's designed to break you. It's designed to like you just being in one spot all day, staring at the same 4 walls, right? Like my neighbors, right? When I was growing up, my neighbors they had this dog. It was a black German Shepherd, right? And they never let it out. It stayed in the fence all the time. Stayed in the fence, stayed in, not in the fence, but in a little cage area that they had it in. When that dog finally got out, it got loose one day. When it finally got out, it snapped. Didn't know what to do. It was running around. It chased my sister up the stairs, first of all. It chased her up the stairs. She got away from it, thank the Lord. Right? But that dog, when we looked at it, it had white drool hanging from its mouth. The dog was mad. It was insane in its mind because it never been out. Right? When you cage something up and it only got to look at them 4 walls and it don't get no activity from the outside world, it's designed that's the recipe for a disabled mind. That's the recipe for you to go insane, for insanity. And that's what prison is. They talking about it's for reforming criminals, but really it's to break your mind and turn you into an animal. That's what they really
It's
want.
to keep you a criminal.
Exactly.
But the prison system so far, they don't have enough supervision. So the prisoners, depending on where you're at, are really run like their politics really run the system. You see what I'm saying? All the guards and shit, they just fit themselves in where they could fit in. But it's designed that way to confine you to the prison lifestyle so that you'll come back, right? And when you're in prison, nigga, you making the money. A bar of soap is fucking what, $7 fucking.
Exactly.
Toothpaste, fucking $8. Like them crazy numbers, man. I ain't even exaggerating, dog. You feel what I'm saying?
Brother put Ecclesiastes 7:7. I'll grab that real quick. I got the blue letter. I'll just read it when you gotta pull it up. Right, Ecclesiastes 7:7. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Right? So oppression, that's right. Oppression is gonna make you like you were sharing my screen. My bad. Oppression is gonna drive you crazy. Right? Even right, I've seen videos even of Edomites that are feeling the oppression, like they starting to feel it. Right, when them gas prices was high, they kind of low now. I feel like they only lowered them for the holiday, or so-called holiday, right? But even when them gas prices was high as hell, them Edomites was feeling it, and they was enraged. They was going crazy, right? Oppression is gonna make you mad. You feeling like it's you trying to claw yourself and dig yourself out this hole, and as long as you steady digging, is the height of the hole is getting deeper and deeper and deeper. It's like you never reaching the top. That's how this place is designed. It's designed for you never to get out the hole. Once you into it, and you never go get out. Right? You never go get out. They'll put you in that debt and all of that, and you never go get out. It's gonna always be a snare unto you. Right? That's why this place is known as the place of prisoners. Right? As it's saying Isaiah, what is that? Isaiah 62? Isaiah 60, 61. The opening of the prisoners that are bound, and Isaiah 42. Right, what it say? This is the people robbed and spoiled, and all of them snared in holes and hid in prison houses. That's us. We hid in these prison houses in this land, this dry and thirsty wilderness, as it says in Psalm 63. Right, but where we was at with it? Let's so we read. Let's read Habakkuk 2 and what is that 5 again with the thick clay. And touch on the debt one more time, and then we're going to get into this article that I got.
From Habakkuk 2, you want verse 6 or verse 5?
6.
Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
Right. How long unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay? Right. Now let's get into this article. Right. And remember that thick clay is going into the debt in which this society has. Right. And this is their plan right here. Right. So 2 years ago, I believe, is when this happened. No, wait. Demolition. Engine. Yeah, Con. And 20, you sharing the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, Con, right. So this is an article, right? Speaking about the Francis Scott Key Bridge, right? In dishonor of America's 250th year celebration tomorrow, the 4th of July, right? The Francis Scott Key, if you don't know who he is, he's the man that wrote the national anthem. The national anthem was a commemoration or a song or a poem, right, to basically give reverence or give honor to that war in 1776, in which the United States defeated Great Britain, right, and became independent, won independence from Great Britain, right. So they had a bridge in Baltimore named after the man that wrote that poem or that song, right? So basically, this bridge 2 years ago, what did it say? It was struck by a cargo ship in 2024, right? So which was 2 years ago, right? And this is how the bridge looks now. They're trying to rebuild it, right? And they said, according to the article, which was written July, or it was updated July 2nd, but it was written June 25th. It says Maryland DTA defends $5.2 billion estimate to rebuild Baltimore's Key Bridge. So the rebuilding of this bridge, mind you, this country is $40 trillion in debt, right? But they said it's gonna take $5.2 billion to rebuild this bridge, right? They want to rebuild this bridge, the Francis Scott Key Bridge that was struck by a cargo ship, right? The trade. And what does a cargo ship represent? Cargo ship represents trade. It's bringing in cargo. What is it, the same thing that's going to destroy America? The other countries that it's doing business with. You see how that works, Kapad? The other countries that this nation is doing business with is going to destroy this place. The 10 horns are going to hate the whore and destroy this place. Right? America, even though China is not one of the 10 horns, it's going to destroy this place. They do business with China. They do business with Iran. It's going to destroy this place. Right? I'm pretty sure there's some type of business going down with Russia as well. But they're going to destroy this place. That cargo ship destroyed the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Francis Scott Key is the man that wrote the national anthem, in which they say before every baseball game, every NBA basketball game, every football game, right? Before any sports event, right? They say the national anthem, right?
Yeah, that shit
Even
is.
go ahead. You said what? It's ass. And I've been noticing they've been trying to have a lot of black people sing it in these upcoming years. They've been having a lot of black people singing, and that's off because we don't need to have no league with this country that did this to us. What we singing the national anthem for if our people were in chains July 4th, 1776? It's not our national anthem. Our national anthem is the Song of Moses in Exodus 15. The same song that we go be reading, that the 144,000, Lord willing, we a part of that number, is going to be singing on Mount Sinai, as it says in Revelation 14. Right, but let's get into this article real quick. I'll read it. Right, so it says again the title: Maryland DTA defends 5.2 billion estimate to rebuild Baltimore's key bridge. Right, it says. So like the caption of the photo says, demolition of the remains of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in November 2025. The Baltimore Bridge was struck by a cargo ship in 2024, causing its collapse and killing 6 workers on the bridge, right? 6, right? Number of incompletion, right? But going into the article, Maryland transportation officials are defending a $5.2 billion estimate to rebuild the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore, which collapsed after struck by a cargo ship, despite concerns from state lawmakers. During a recent hearing with Maryland House Appropriations and Environment and Transportation Committees, Transportation Secretary Catherine Thompson said the Maryland Transportation Authority's estimate was built on collaboration with independent cost estimators and the Federal Highway Administration, according to Maryland Matters report. Kapai, you watched The Wire before?
I may have.
Right. You got a show called The Wire, which is based in Baltimore, Maryland. Right. And in that show, it's showing how the crack epidemic affected the black communities, right? And so basically, how you got in that show is detailing what from a fiction base, but we know it really happened with our people, right? And that's really going down over there. How families were affected by the crack epidemic, how children, grown men, law enforcement was affected by the crack epidemic. Politics was affected by the crack epidemic and all of that. How all those things came into play, right? So it's a lot of poverty in Baltimore. It's a lot of people, blacks and Hispanics, living in poverty in Baltimore. And they don't see that. Talk about emergency alert, right? But it's a lot of poverty in Baltimore, but they willing to spend $5.2 billion on a damn bridge. But blacks and Hispanics is starving in Baltimore. Blacks and Hispanics is living on the street in Baltimore. But $5.2 billion can go to rebuilding a damn bridge, though. Just think about that. Just think about that. How this country decides where its money goes, right? So it says
nowhere on the priority list.
Right. We know we're on the priority list, right? Like it. Going down. Thompson also said the department continues to reevaluate and pressure test that number, which remains the best estimate. When pressed by committee members on the other reports that the original estimate from Kiewit Infrastructure, which was reportedly rejected as the contractor for the bridge rebuild, had reached $9 billion. Damn. Thompson said that that will never be our numbers, according to the Maryland Matters report. Kiewit told Maryland Matters that the rumored $9.1 billion estimate is not a cost figure turned in by Kiewit. a new 4.3 billion to 5.2 billion price tag for replacing the key bridge was released by MDTA, right? What is that? Maryland Department of Transportation Association, something like that. I don't know. In November, the preliminary rebuild estimate was 1.7 billion to 1.9 billion, with the bridge opening in 2028, right? So what they trying to do is rebuild this bridge. They're trying to rebuild this bridge, rebuild the bridge that's named after the man that wrote the national anthem, right? Because you probably could say it's a key landmark or whatever. No pun intended, because the named after a man named Key. It's a key landmark, right? But that just goes to represent how they want to rebuild or heal Babylon, but they're not gonna be able to heal it, right? They want to rebuild this place. They want to, quote unquote, make America great again, but they ain't gonna be able to do so, right? Trump, he said that he was going to make America great again, but every move he done made that made him look more and more like a clown, and then sunk this country even more further into debt. I believe they got to pay through the agreement that they just came out with, which I don't know if it's going to uphold, because they right back at war from what I heard. They gotta pay Iran a couple billion or something like that. You heard about that?
But I've been hearing about some shit like that from the jump, because of all the damages that they've caused and all the peace treaty talks. But Iran is demanding a certain amount if they're gonna talk about peace for real.
And that's only go sink this country more into debt, and then it's making this country look weak as well, right? It's making this country look weak. The pomp is gone, right? The mighty men of Babylon forbear to fight, right? What the Lord say, thy pomp shall cease, or something like that, right? So this place is on its way out. It's very well on its way out. Let's grab that. We would have healed Babylon in Jeremiah. What is that? Jeremiah 50. Stop. Right in Jeremiah 50.
Well, ain't no 50. 51 and 9.
So like it feel good. It feel good to be back live again. If it's any smoke out there, hey, feel free. We'll drop the link. We don't care who you is.
I got some smoke, man, but I was gonna say that for myself, goddamn. So I'm gonna talk about Revelation, goddamn Romans 11.
Oh, yeah.
Be selfish with that motherfucker though.
They must not know about that scripture in James. Can the fig tree bring forth olives or something like that? They must not. You can't mix different trees, Kapad.
People blinded, bro. People blinded, bro.
You can't mix different trees, Kapad. That don't work like that. They gotta come from the same stock.
Yeah, bro. And then with that Ezekiel 30 breakdown, that shit just don't work at all.
Right. All right.
All the trees other than the tree of Israel is gonna be destroyed. And trees cannot be grafted into one another. See what I'm saying? So anyways, Jeremiah 51 and 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies.
So it says we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. And key words, right? It says her judgment has reached unto heaven, right? and is lifted up even to the skies, right? That's going into how I mentioned the cry of Sodom went all the way up to the Most High. The Lord was watching that place from the jump. He knew what was going down there. And he sent the angels to watch out, and the angels like, we go abide in the street just to watch and see what's going on. Right? But Lot pressed them to come into the house or whatever. Right? Ultimately, that was all the plan of the Lord. But the same thing is going on here. The Lord got his angels out here watching what's going on in the streets of Babylon day in and day out. And what is that? Proverbs 15:3. Right? It says the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. Right? So the angels, they out here watching what's going on in Babylon the Great. They saw those sisters get lynched a couple weeks ago. Right? They saw when that knee was on the neck of George Floyd. Right? They saw when George Zimmerman was chasing after Trayvon Martin. Right? They saw when the sister Sandra Bland, right, was unalived by that cop. Right? They saw when the sister Sonia Massey, you know, was shot by that cop, man. The angels seen all that. They taking note of it. And the innocent and righteous blood is crying to the Lord from the ground. Go ahead.
But I say they seen when I exited Walmart with that showing my receipt, and the police assaulted me and put in the police report that I approached them with my fist balled up while reaching for my gun, and they threw my ass in fucking jail for having $10 worth of shit and not showing my receipt because I told him I don't got no receipt, and he tried to force me to go to the customer service desk and get one printed out and help him with his investigation. You see how that worked?
See,
But I ain't gonna see how
this is a corrupt place, man. Right? And the corruptness don't just stop at the right, and the hypocrite. And the corruption don't just stop at the head of this place. It's going all the way down to the bottom of this place. Right? The whole head is sick and the heart faint. If the head is sick, the body is sick. If the head of this country is sick, that means the foot of this country is sick. Right? That just goes to show. Even the lowest parts of this country is being affected by the sickness of this place. Right? That's because the Lord mingled a perverse spirit, going back to Isaiah 19. The Lord mingled a perverse spirit in this place. Right? Let's go.
When you put yourself
Go
in
ahead.
position, I'm about to say, when you put yourself in positions of having, say, like government jobs of enforcing Mystery Babylon's law, right? And you're taking your own people to jail, right? And they got a bond out. What is that going to? He that stealeth the man that selleth him. You're stealing a man for him to be sold, right? So you're involving yourself in America's sin, right? That goes directly into the law. You're stealing a man for him to be sold. That's called bond. A lot of people, Israelites, are within law enforcement and locking niggas up. Nigga, quit that fucking bitch ass job, man.
Right.
That's what I would say.
Exactly.
Because you're sinning against the Most High. If he be found in his hands, he shall surely be put to death. That's not no small sin.
Right. Yeah, a lot of our people, what it say, even in what is that in the Maccabees, right? Our people who hated their own people, they went and made covenants with the heathen. Right? And it said First Maccabees 1, what it say, many of our people, many Israelites, was like, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen, for since we, departed from them, we have much sorrow. Acting like you need them for your life to be good. A lot of our people think like that. I need to work with the white man for me to have a good life. I need to put my kids in Catholic and private school for them to have a good education or whatever. I need to go be in law enforcement for us to have a good life or whatever. For us to be on the right side of the law. I've been so many times I heard my damn mama say that. My mama worked for the damn jail system. She worked for the jail system. She not a CO or nothing, but she a physical therapist or whatever. She work in the physical therapy unit. Right. Yeah. So it been times where she always she always bring up how she worked for the state, how she worked for the government, and then she always bring that up to the police and all that. She be like, "Yeah, I'm on the right side of the law. I'm with y'all." Woo, woo. What? With y'all? With them? That don't make sense. Like we not moving like that. We don't have no cohesiveness, or we not in cahoots with this government or with this society. This place is not like that for us. This is not our rest, right? This place is our prison. It's a jail sentence for us.
What people will argue is that if we want better for ourselves as a people, we got to take these government positions. But just like how back up in the day, the slave master picks out the most submissive nigga to be a house slave and puts him in a certain position, right? And he may be likened unto a sheepdog to govern the slaves, his down self. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't have power over that position. He has to do a certain job, right? He's being used as a puppet. You see what I'm saying? He's not in a position of power. He's just asserting his oppressor's power, his head's power.
He just, like you said, he a puppet, man. That's exactly what he is. He a chess piece, a pawn, right? But yeah, she was trying to get me to go into. She was like, "Yeah, you should be a CEO, so you be on the right side of the law, so they ain't gonna mess. Them people still gonna lock your ass up. What I want to go be a CEO and I'm locking my own people up. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, but your son to be labeled as a terrorist. They'll label me as a domestic terrorist. The way I talk about this country, when we go and stay at camp every week, we domestic terrorists. We people that preach and pray for the downfall of this society. We're not the ones trying to keep it running. I ain't the one trying to open and slam the prison doors. That's not me. I ain't the one trying to see my brothers in chains and help them. Hell nah. I'm trying to free my brothers. I'm trying to see my brothers live and see them survive. What I want to help the white man put my brothers in chains for.
People's problem is that they're trying to conjure up a plan on how we're gonna prosper in this place.
Yeah.
Right? Ain't no prospering in this place.
They trying to survive.
You're shit all fucking day. You're standing in shit whether you're so-called prosperous or not, nigga. You in shit.
Right.
That's the highest extent position you can get to.
And you know what? That go back to the Willie Lynch letters. Right? The Willie Lynch letters, they said that we had a nigga man breed with a nigga woman, right? They bring forth children, and then we take the nigga man out of the house, right? I'm speaking verbatim. They take the man out of the house, right? And then they said if it be a boy, she would raise her son. She would try to raise her son to be dependent, right? To be dependent, to be soft. Try to make him soft. Try to make him try to instill survival in him. But the survival that she's trying to instill within him is him cowering and bowing down to the ways of this society so that he can live long. That's in the Willie Lynch letters. And then a woman, if she have a woman child, she will raise her daughter to be physically independent and strong-minded, to not need a man, because that's how she is, because she had her man taken away from her and had to do it on her own. Go ahead. I saw you signal.
I was just putting up those quotation marks like being a strong woman.
Yeah,
but
strong.
Never strong in
never
a so-called masculine position.
Right.
A woman is strong in her femininity.
Exactly.
That's even when a woman has the most influence over a man or her surroundings, her work environment, customer service, dealing with children. When she's in her femininity, she prevails in her strength. See what I'm saying? But when a woman adopts a masculine persona, she's not pleasant. See what I'm saying?
Right. So all of this comes with the hell of this place. Right? All of this comes with the hell of this place. The turmoil, everything that the Israelites are being put through, right? The oppression, all of that comes with that, right? And which we have to go through on a day-to-day basis, surviving in this damn hellhole, right? So, like we was going into, they want to heal this place and bring it back to its former estate, right? Which is why they want to build. It's a sign of them trying to rebuild the Francis Scott Key Bridge. They ain't gonna be able to heal this place. They ain't gonna be able to rebuild this place. This place is on its last leg. It's on its way out, and we just gonna go into it. The average duration of an empire is around 250 years. Let's go. Let me share my screen. Right here. This is right here. Right. So I asked Google. Right. Shout out to the elders that showed me this. Right. But I asked Google the average duration of an empire. Right. That's all I typed in, as you see on the screen. Right. And it said empires typically last around 250 years on average, though some endure much longer depending on governance, geography, and institutional resilience, right? So, on average, an empire lasts about 250 years, right? What is tomorrow, or what's gonna be at midnight? It might be midnight, almost midnight for some of y'all brothers. That's an hour ahead of me. It's 10:56 where I'm at. Getting ready to go on 11 o'clock, but it's getting ready to go on midnight for some of y'all brothers. But what's tomorrow? The 250th anniversary of Babylon the Great coming into fruition, of America coming into fruition, right? So this place just hit the mark of the average duration of an empire. It just hit the mark of that, right? So what does that show us? What does that tell us? That this place is on a downward slope from here on out, right? And it could be months from now. It could be a couple years from now, right? We don't know, but we know that this place is on this last leg and it's getting ready to be over with. You have something you want to say?
Alexis Patterns. I was gonna ask you, can you ask it why empires last around 250 years?
You said why?
Yeah.
All right.
I want to gauge the pattern. I'm sound like an old ass nigga, but
My bad, man. I ain't did too much desk work. I'm a field nigga. I ain't did too much. I ain't did too much desk work in the working empire, man. I'm more of a field nigga. I'm out there sharecropping and all that. But what it say? Most empires tend to last around 250 years due to a combination of social, economic, and political factors that lead to their eventual decline, right? And we could tie that to scripture. We could definitely tie that to scripture, right? Let's grab Mark 3 and 21, and also Daniel 2, and I think I want like 49 or something like that.
what's up on here?
You need me to unshare my screen? Daniel 2 and 49, 4 and 29, 2 and 49. It's like it. You don't want me to put my shades on. I get real cool on the yeah. Yeah.
Hey, my nigga,
Oh,
KP had
praise.
this bit, man. 10 step it, dog. Man,
You said what?
and man, Big Birmingham.
Put my
Man, KP
wannabe.
had this bit, man.
These Cavellis. These ain't buffs though. They Cavellis though.
Man,
Yeah. Yeah. The coffees.
10 step it, man.
God. Hey, we do this work
That's
in
it, man.
style,
You said
man.
Mark 3:21.
Yeah, Mark 3 and 21.
When his friends heard of it, they went out to lay hold on him, for they said he is beside himself. And the
Keep
scribes
going.
which came down from Jerusalem said he had Beelzebub,
Right.
and
So
by the
they
prince of the devils,
keep going. Go ahead.
casted he out devils.
Right. So the scribes and the Pharisees, they looking at Yahweh Shah, they saying he got Beelzebub. He got a demon on him. They said by the power of the prince of the devils, he casting out devils. How the hell you got power over the devils and you go you got power of the devils and you casting out devils. Yahweh Shah said it don't work like that. Basically what he finna say to them. You keep going.
Share my screen. Verse 23, and he said, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And
Mm,
if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand.
mm.
And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end.
Right. So he said, how can Satan cast out Satan? They saying by the power of the devils, you casting out devils. And then he was like, what? How can Satan cast out Satan? He said, is Yahweh most high? Yes.
Jehovah the name of the Most
what we
High.
talk what we talk about here? Right. I just had to yes, Yahweh is the most high. Right. But yeah, so it said, how can Satan cast out Satan? Right. So he said, if a kingdom be divided in itself in verse 24, that kingdom cannot stand. Right. So the kingdom is divided, it can't stand. This is a divided kingdom. Right. You got left wing and you got right wing. Right. You got conservatives and you got what's the other side of the conservatives? I can't remember. Reformists or something like that. I don't know what's the other side. Conservative. Let me see. Conservative. Real quick. Hold on. Sometimes you gotta look this stuff up.
Is it liberals?
It might be liberals.
You got the red and the
Yeah,
blue.
liberal.
See what I'm saying?
Right. So you got conservative versus liberals. Right. Back in the ancient Roman Empire, you had plebeians versus patricians. Right. You had people that wanted Rome to be a republic, and you had people that wanted Rome to be basically what is it called? Something to do with the empire. Something to do with the empire though. But you had opposites, which caused Rome to fall. Right? I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But you had opposites, which caused Rome to fall. And this place is an extension of Rome. And the same thing that happened to Rome is going to happen to this place. Right? And Daniel prophesied of that. Right? Now we can go to Daniel 2 and 49. It might be 39. See the 49 to 39. Yes, Yahweh is
You
the
said
most high.
239?
Yeah, 2 and 39. Come on,
Ain't no 39.
and Daniel 2?
Oh shit, I'm on the wrong shit, my bad. Daniel 2 and 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth.
Talk
And the
about the
fourth kingdom
Greeks.
shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Let's talk
And
about the Roman Empire. Keep going.
and And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
Right.
And
So
as the toe,
Salakia. It says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes, right, which is the bottom of that same kingdom that was iron, right? The bottom, the ending, right, of the Roman Empire, right, which is the same as in Daniel 7, that little horn that came out, right? Your toes come out of the feet, right? The toes come out of the feet. They're an extension of that, right? So just like the kingdom of the iron, right? That started from the bottom of the leg, that started from the shin all the way down to the feet. It's like an extension, right? It says the feet were part iron and part clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken, right? It says the kingdom is going to be divided. You can't mix iron and clay. Clay is brittle, right? It says, and it shall be part iron. The kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be the strength of the iron. What is the strength? Let's talk about America's military might. That's the strength, right? And then it says, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, right? You can't mix it. It's divided, right? And what did Yahweh say about a kingdom divided? A kingdom divided can't stand. It's not gonna last, right? We keep going on that.
whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay. Hold on, I just read that. Verse 44. I'm gonna read. Let me read this again. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in
Right,
the
so it says
days
they
of
shall mingle themselves with the seed of men. Right, mingle themselves with the seed of men. That's that what we read in Habakkuk. He heapeth unto him all nations and all people. Right, they trying to intermix or trying to create cultures, one melting pot in one nation, right, with all these different cultures and societies. Right, they're doing trades with all these different cultures and societies and inviting them into the country. This place is not going to last. Right, New York now has a Muslim governor or as a mayor, something like that, either a governor or a mayor. He Muslim, the first one ever, right? But this America is supposed to be a Christian country, as far as you know. It's supposed to be a Christian country through what is that called? What is that? The Doctrine of Discovery. That's how America became America, through the Doctrine of Discovery. You know what that is, Kapad?
I've heard of it.
Right. The Doctrine of Discovery is basically a decree, I believe, by the Pope, saying that if a country or a landmass and the people in it is found and they're not Christian, then you could colonize that place, force them to be Christian, force them under your rulership. It's let's look that up. Doctrine of Discovery. Let's go into it. Let's go into that real quick. I want to see what KP Sal. Is that KP serves? Is that the dude that be going around people?
Look, KB Sale, man, that my nigga, bro.
Oh, that's your man's.
Hell yeah.
Who, KP serves?
KB Sale, nigga.
That's your nigga?
Hell yeah, that's fine.
The Christian?
Look, in the chat, nigga.
Okay. KP Sal, that's your man's. Oh, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
All praise. All praise. I thought that was KP serves.
No,
You know,
you
KP
talking
serves.
about you talking about I like
Yeah,
saying
Yeah, that Christian. That's what I thought it was. That's what I thought. I just saw KP. But I kind of all praise to the Most High. Slack. But yeah, all right, let's get the Doctrine of Discovery is a 15th century legal and religious framework originating from papal bulls that justify European colonial expansion and the disposition of indigenous lands. It established that Christian powers could claim sovereignty and ownership over any land not inhabited by Christians. So Christians could go and conquer and colonize a land if that land is not already under the philosophy of Christianity. This would allow them to come and basically colonize America, right? In the 15th century, which is the 1400s. This would gave Columbus his leeway to do what he had to do, what he came and did. The 15th century, that's the 1400s, right? So the Pope, which is the Papal, right, Papal or whatever, right? That's who gave them the leeway to do these things. That's who created the doctrine of discovery, right? And that doctrine of discovery, that's what America is rooted in. That's that manifest destiny, right? They thought it was their destiny to become this great society, this great country. And they used the doctrine of discovery to do so. That's why they came and chopped the heads off of them 100 million Native American, or was it 200 million, whatever, Native American Indians, right? That's why they came and conquered and stole away, millions and millions of Hebrew slaves from the western coast of Africa, and conquered, a lot of territory in Africa as well. That's why Christianity is over there in Africa. That's why Christianity, they Christians down there in Argentina. Why? Because of the doctrine of discovery. And this is nowhere in the Bible. Where did Christ teach the doctrine of discovery? I don't see it in there. Saying you can go kill them because they don't believe in what we believe in. Now in the kingdom, everybody gonna be forced to believe in what we believe in. Right, but Christ never gave that decree to the disciples.
We're gonna have our own doctrine of discovery.
Yeah, come on, we're gonna have our own. All right. We're gonna have our own. So what we was going into with this, the doctrine of discovery, to show that what we was at in Daniel, we was at Daniel 2, right?
Yep.
So this place is divided, right? Oh yeah. So America was rooted in Christianity, is what I was saying. But now in New York, you got Governor Mamdani or something like that, and he Muslim. He Muslim, and New York is the pinnacle of America, and they got a Muslim governor. So this place, even on a religious standpoint, is mixed. That miry clay is mixed. It's not on the same page. You got Muslims and Christians ruling together, right? You got Republicans and Democrats ruling together. You got conservatives and liberals ruling together. This place is not gonna last. It's a place that's divided, and a kingdom divided cannot stand, right? What else I want to get into? So like it. What we got on time? 1 hour 18. We went into the average time of an empire. Let's go back to that. What did I go to? Why empire only lasts this amount of time. Let me share my screen again, because there's more we could touch on that with that. Right. So we asked why empires last around 250 years. Most empires tend to last around 250 years due to a combination of social, economic, and political factors that lead to their eventual decline, right? So political factors, right? It says the notion that empires have a lifespan of approximately 250 years is often attributed to the work of historian John Glove, who analyzed the rise and fall of various empires throughout history. He identified a pattern of their life cycles, which typically includes stages of growth, peak power, and eventual decline. This cycle is influenced by several key factors. Cultural decline. As empires grow, they often experience a decline in shared values and ethics. This cultural erosion can lead to internal strife and weaken the social fabric that holds the empire together. For instance, Glove noted that a loss of moral and ethical standards often precedes political decline. Right, a loss of moral and ethical standards. Right, this place
Yeah,
really.
I can see
Go
that.
ahead, go ahead.
I better say I can see that because when America was being built, they were more so with one mind to
Right,
build the foundation. But as they got stronger, they felt more comfortable to be more lenient and to be more every person choose their own way, and we're just gonna live together and rule together type
right.
shit. Like one president comes with certain views, and the next 4 years happen, another president comes with opposing views. It just can't work. Nothing can get built that way. One
Exactly.
person builds for another person to tear it down.
It says the loss of moral and ethical standards often precedes political decline. Right. Number two, economic challenges. Many empires face economic difficulties as they expand. Issues such as wealth inequality, inflation, and resource depletion can destabilize an empire, right? So wealth inequality, right? So you got the rich and the poor, right? The poor getting poorer, the rich getting richer, right? It's a great gulf fix between the two. And you got inflation, right? The amount or the value of the dollar is dropping, right? Which causes the prices of goods to go up, right? The monetary system of this place is crashing out, right? It's on its downfall. That's why cryptocurrency is on the rise because it's a new form of currency, right? And ultimately, all of that is going to lead up to what the scriptures call the mark of the beast, right? Where they're going to put the RFID chip into your hand, and that's going to be your new form of payment, a new form of payment system, right? With the new, along with the new world order, but that's all go deplete because, like the scriptures say, when they come with that, that's when the beast is getting ready to fill his belly, right? It's getting ready to eat good when it starts to put those chips out. It's getting ready to fill his belly. But what the Lord say in Job, matter of fact, let's go there real quick through the Spirit. I'll pull it up. What is that? Job 20? Might be 19.
Apparently that shit
20.
going crazy in Sweden right now.
You said the chip going crazy?
Yeah, in Sweden. It's
Oh yeah,
going
Con, they
crazy.
do. They do got it out there. Let's start at we're gonna start at verse 4 and jump down. It says, this Job 20 and 4, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment, right? It says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Right? This place is gonna be utterly, dismantled. Right? Even though this place is in the clouds right now, it's gonna perish away like shit on the ground. Right? It's gonna wash away, it's gonna get decomposed or whatever and seep into the ground. Let's jump down to verse 11. It say, his bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Right? Because this place has a judgment that's written for it that it hasn't, it has a bill on judgment that's written for it that it hasn't cashed out yet. Right? That's why I say it's prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. Right? This place the bones are full of the sin of his youth. In the younger days of this country, it did a whole lot of bloodshed. It did a whole lot of iniquity, and it's still committing bloodshed and iniquity today. But even more so back then, with how it did the Native Americans, right? With how it did the Southern Kingdom, right? How it did other societies and other nations, right? It's filled with the sins of its youth, right? And those sins haven't caught up to it yet. That's why it says, we shall lie down with him in the dust, meaning the reckoning is coming for this place, right? It says, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat and his bowels is turned, it is the gall of ass within him. He have swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. God shall cast them out of his belly. So the riches that this place has swallowed down, it's going to have to vomit them up. It's going to have to give it up. Let me go down to, what is that for? He shall fill his belly. Quietness in his belly. See. Verse 23. I was in the right chapter. Let's go up though. Verse 18. It says, that which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. Right? So they have to pay for what they did according to Numbers 35 and 33. Right? It says, because he have oppressed and forsaken the poor. Who is the poor? Right? Read Isaiah the 61st chapter. Right? The poor are the Israelites. The meek are the Israelites. The prisoners are the Israelites. It says, because he have violently taken away a house which he builded not. That's talking about the Native Americans. Let's talk about the Northern Kingdom. This was their house. This was their place. This was their domain. We also read that in Habakkuk, right? When he enlarges his desire is hell. It says he violently took away a house which he builded not. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him when he is about to fill his belly. So when they issuing them chips out, he getting ready to eat. He getting ready to fill his belly. He can feel that he gonna be in his prime. This nation. He as in this nation, Babylon the Great. God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Right? He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Right? What is the bow of steel? Let's talk about those thermonuclear missiles, the ICBM. Right? Those missiles are gonna strike this place through, as it says in 2nd Esdras. What is that? 16 and 13. You got something, Mark?
Yeah, I just thought of something. I'm trying to pull it up. Hopefully I'll be fine.
Huh. I'm gonna just keep going until you find it. It says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn and cometh out of the body, yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle. Right? It shall go ill with them that is left in his tabernacle. Right? Who's going to be left in his tabernacle? Everybody that's not beamed up. It's going to go ill with them. Right? If you don't get beamed up in the last days, when your house shall crack that sky and with the angels, right? If you're not of the elect getting beamed up, it's going to go ill with you in this tabernacle, right? In this house. It say the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him, right? And this place is currently rising up against America, right? They call out America for war crimes. They call out America for, blowing up schools with little children in them, right? They call out America for being corrupt. They call out America for its perversion of other countries and other nations. Right? The earth is rising against this place. Like Iran called out America for all the bloodshed that it did in one of those videos, those Lego videos. It called out America for what it did to the Native Americans and to the so-called blacks and Hispanics. It called them out on that. The earth is rising up against this place. Everybody know that this place is the damn main culprit of everything that goes wrong in the earth today. Right? It says the increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from God, and a heritage appointed unto him by God. You got it out.
Hey, hit verse 23 real quick, Cat.
23. Come on. Verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, God shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating.
Better watch this, homie. Let's see. What it is. Watch this. You see these deer they eating right now. They done got trapped up in this motherfucker. They think
Did
they
you
finna
catch
have a
that?
feast.
In the beginning, this deer right here peeped what was going on. But that same deer was like, nah, something don't look right. Something seems off. And it was a trap. The trap didn't look dangerous because it was disguised as an opportunity for them to get something that they wanted. I don't think any of them planned on getting trapped. Again, they were just focused on what they could get in the moment. Many people ruin their future chasing something that felt good for a season, for a moment. And that's exactly how spiritual traps work. They don't always come looking evil. No, they come looking like opportunities. They come looking enjoyable, exciting, and you might even see people you know in these opportunities. People who you grew up with. People you call friends. But if you don't have that godly discernment, by the time the walls come down, literally and figuratively, it's too late. What felt like freedom now feels like captivity. Just because everyone is doing something doesn't make it right. Remember, broad is the way that leads to destruction. Narrow is the way to life. Be like old deer over here. Be willing to stand out from the crowd. Look at something and say, you know what? That's not for me. Just because everyone's doing it doesn't mean I'm going to do it. I'm going to walk away. Don't let this be you.
There's a lot of things look pleasurable in the moment, man, but it leads to destruction, man. That's how the Most High catch your ass. Just like a spider in the cut with that spider web. You just think you going about your life. Boom, you caught up. See what I'm saying?
So it's like, basically, they gonna make it look like, speaking on the mark of the beast, they gonna make it look like it's an opportunity for you to eat, for you to survive, for you to do all these other things, right? Just speaking about a mark of the beast standpoint. But ultimately, it's gonna be a trap, right? It's gonna be a trap to get you basically, how can I put it? Under the so-called New World Order, under their governance further, right? It's all a plan of surveillance. Them to not survey you, but for them to, watch you and keep tabs on you, on a more strict standpoint. They gonna control the money system, the monetary, what you can spend money on, how you spend your money. They're gonna be watching all of that, right? But it's gonna look like, and it's gonna be issued out as an opportunity, right? Like how they showed that on The Purge, right? What's that? The movie The First Purge, not the first Purge movie that came out, but it's called The First Purge, right? When they gave them they was talking to the dude, what they called him, Skeleton Man, Skeletor or whatever, and he was in jail, he was in prison. Right in the beginning of the movie, he was in prison. He had on an orange jumpsuit, and they was like, "So if we release you and allow you to partake in this purge, how would you do?" They was like, how you feel about this, this society or whatever? What you want to do?" He basically said, "I want to go out and unalive some shit. I want to go out and do damage or whatever, and let my aggression out." And they was like, "Yeah, that's what we need. We need this to go good. All we need you to do while you're doing that is wear these contacts." Right? He had to wear the contacts while he was doing it. Right? Now they disguised it as contacts in that movie, but in real life, it's gonna be that chip that go in your hand. Oh, we gonna let you eat. We gonna let you do what you gotta do, right? You gonna be able to survive. You gonna be able to feed your kids, but we need you to put something up in here if you still want that link card or them SNAP benefits, that EBT. We need you to put something up in here if you still want that government job. If you still want to get into this college or this school, we need you to put something up in here. That's what's gonna be going down.
Yeah, so I used to work at the airport, right?
Mhm.
And they started to get on a process of prohibiting normal IDs to be able to fly. Like now, I believe they probably implemented it now, but you need a red ID to even fly, right? Then later on, it's gonna be the RFID chip. You see what I'm saying? Not too long ago, you needed a vaccine to do certain things, right? So yeah, we're gonna go through a process of confining to the beast. See what I'm saying?
Right. That's definitely what our people is gonna have to go through, and you gotta have the willpower and the strength not to do so. Right.
Man, you need to be occupied in prophecy because when you see these things coming to pass, man, it's gonna be nonsensical to take that mark,
Right.
man. We know what's gonna happen. They're gonna get boils upon their flesh, right?
Right.
They're gonna be omitted from salvation.
Come. Come. So that's all I have for real. Unless you want to keep going into these points of what caused the downfall of an empire.
Yeah, it's getting late. We can start to hang it up.
All right, come.
Shit. Yeah,
Come.
man, what niggas need to be focused on is the doors, but a lot of this shit out here, man, like we were going into before, either you're on the side that's trying to hold the building down while it's falling per se, or you're the one trying to tear it down, right? But we know that the building is falling down, so either you're gonna get crumbled by it, or most are willing you're gonna get saved out of the destruction, right? The dead in Christ shall rise up. So if you're willing to die for this thing, man, you're not gonna be holding on to uh, worldly things. You're not gonna put this truth down to pursue a job and not have any time to put in bricks for the Most High, right? Niggas really need to get their priorities straight and stop being civilians,
Right.
all right? 'Cause their job is really straightforward, my nigga. It's not too much to it. A lot of niggas just need to be told what the fuck they already know. Gotta make the first step. A lot of times
Brothers,
people start off
go
as
ahead. Go
hot.
ahead.
Yeah, they go through a certain period of being hot because the things we habituate on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis become easy for us to do, especially when we have brothers around us that are on the same thing. But if you start to break those patterns, you're gonna replace the pattern, right? And it's gonna become harder to do those things that you stopped doing. So you're gonna fall into that cycle, right? You see what I'm saying? So
That's
you just
right.
you gotta. It's a mindset thing, bro. What do you actually desire? What are you holding on to? Cause your life ain't fucking promised, to be honest, my nigga.
It's
And
not.
the Most High makes certain vessels for honor, vessels for destruction, just like the Most High is the potter, we are the clay. He can make a nigga to be mighty in the face of everybody, but behind the scenes, he's a wicked ass nigga. But the Most High simultaneously gave him the spirit. You could
Right.
be given the spirit like Saul just for it to be taken away. The Most High had a plan to destroy Saul. Gave him the spirit, and he was prophesying amongst the prophets just for him to be destroyed at the end, and for his followers to be destroyed along with him. You see what I'm saying? So you searching for something?
Yeah, hold on real quick.
Hell yeah, man. So You gotta ask yourself what the fuck you doing. Like I be at work a lot. I put in a lot of hours, but I've started to um, pack me a few meals so that on lunch I can spend my time studying, and while I'm on the clock, I can go sneak in, get my food in without having to clock out for that. So I could just at least get an hour. I really like to get more than an hour in of studying because an hour ain't shit. If you really like that, you know that an hour ain't shit, bro. Uh, you got to study your ears. You got to also stop playing music 24/7 because when you study, you digest the information. And when you leave your mind isolated, you start to subconsciously think upon those things that you've learned throughout the day, right? When you fill all that space in with music, you're not attaining yourself to the goal, right? You're
Right.
not building anything. Yeah, you can multitask. People all the time they say they don't got enough time for this, they don't got enough time for that, but they scroll on their phone while they washing the dishes or while they taking a shit or doing this or doing that. Why not when you take a shit you studying the fucking scripture? You do got time, you just fucking bullshit. See what I'm saying?
Like you're saying, what is that? 1 Corinthians 15:33. Evil communications corrupt good manners. So what you putting into your mind, it could corrupt your mannerisms, right? If you constantly listening to damn young boy, which ain't nothing wrong with listening to young boy, but if you letting what young boy rap about influence you to want to go live certain lifestyles, you got to recognize that the witchcraft of the music or the spirit of the music is corrupting your manners, right? Same way how the Holy Spirit can corrupt your manners of the old man and create a new man within you, right? The spirits on the left hand side can corrupt your manners and bring that old man back or bring a different man up out of you, right? And have you doing corrupt things or whatever, right? Have you doing things that's contrary to the laws? How you going back to selling drugs? How you going back to, doing whatever you was doing when you was in the world or whatever? It's gonna have you return back to your old vomit, right? And that's walking me back into you share my screen, walking me into this precept right here, right? This Revelation 2 and verse 4. It says, "Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love." Right? We left our first love. What was our first love? This truth. First love was doing the work. Right? You brothers that was out there on them corners, on them highways and byways, and you ain't out there no more, nigga, you left your first love. You done left your bitch hanging. Then left her. And now she just sitting there, crying. And you just out here just doing whatever. Right? It's a brother. We call him the pastor because he told us he is a pastor, right? When we first met him, he is on his P's and Q's. He is on top of his game. He'd come around dappered up or whatever, all of that, but and everybody in Hyde Park called him pastor or whatever because I believe he is a pastor at the church. He'd come around with his wife, they'd walk through Hyde Park and all of that. But then we started seeing the pastor in a different way. He come around with two different shoes on. He come around with one pants leg up, the other one down, and he just looking all crazy, right? Clothes all tattered, all of that, right? He not looking like his normal self. We found out that he started smoking crack, right? But he was a pastor, though. He started smoking crack, right? Ultimately, we know Christianity is not the way. But when he was strong in his faith, right, he was more kept together, right? Then when he started, smoking crack and all that, now he just a complete disaster. He a walking disaster, right? He left his first love, his wife, right? When I told him, this is the reason why I bring this up, his wife, who we used to see him walking with, right? Bakash got a video on the channel. He talking to the pastor's wife. He talking about like, yeah, you know, the Lord allowed you to meet this woman and all of that, and you know, y'all been together all these years and all that. So one day I saw the pastor after I done heard that he was on crack. You know, one of the brothers told me. And so I told the pastor, I was like, you out here, your shoes ain't tied, you just out here looking fucking crazy any kind of way. And he an elder, but I hadn't talked to him that way. You out here looking crazy any kind of way. I was like, and you out here all hours of the night, where's your wife at? She probably out there, she probably at home wondering, scared. Where you at? Don't know what you doing. Don't know if that next rock you smoke is gonna be a bad hit and you fucking overdose. Or you have a heart attack from that rock that you hit. She don't know. She just waiting on the call. She's scared. You left your first love, brother. You left your wife abandoned to chase after something that you into now. Y'all, a lot of y'all brothers, y'all done left the street corners. Y'all didn't abandon them. And now you chasing after something that you into now. Whether that's, you know, money and riches. Whether that's a good livelihood or a better livelihood. Ain't nothing wrong with chasing those things. But you're never supposed to abandon what's supposed to come first. This truth never supposed to be put on the back burner. For anything. Right? Basically, you left your first love. And now she's abandoned. And where it says where no hedge is, the possession is spoiled. Your wife's supposed to be your possession. This truth is supposed to be your first wife. That's why I say in Corinthians, or is that Romans, he that have a wife, let it be that he have none. Why? Because you married to this truth first. And then your actual wife, she comes second. It's down there like you don't have a wife because you steady putting this truth first. You know, your wife at home, she gonna be complaining. Because you gotta go out and do the work with the brothers. You gotta go out and do this. You gotta go out and do that. This is supposed to be your livelihood. But when you leave away from that, you done abandoned your first wife. You left your first love. You left wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You left that in the back burner. You left it behind. Casted it behind you. Like you damn ball up a damn piece of paper and you just cast it behind you. That's how you just did the truth. That's how you did the work. So it says, Revelation 2:4, nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee. And you brothers that do this, Yahushua, he got something against you. He got a bone to pick with you. Right? It says, because thou hast left thy first love. Here go the point. Remember, therefore, from whence thou art fallen. And repent. Right? So what is that saying? 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourself whether you be in the faith. And prove your own self. You need to look and remember. Where you at right now? Where you was at when you was fully into this thing. You need to look at yourself. And decide what side you want to be on. You can't play the fence in this truth. Right? The Lord already said that in Revelation 3:15. Whether you cold or hot. If you're not neither, I'm going to spit you out my mouth because you lukewarm, nigga. And I don't got no taste for no lukewarm. I don't want no warm food. It's either cold food or hot food. You got to be one or the other. Right? You can't be no warm food. Don't nobody want warm food. It's either hot food or cold food. And the Lord said he don't got a taste for lukewarm. You can't play the fence in this truth. Right? It says, so you need to remember, therefore, from whence you are fallen. And repent. Turn back from that. To repent mean to turn back, turn away from. Right? It says, and do the first works. What's your first works? Getting out there on them corners. Reading, praying, fasting, prophesying, shaking the hand at people. Right? Casting up curses upon the society instead of trying to make it in it. You know, brothers don't need to throw up curses no more in America. Brothers ain't throwing up the curses. Brothers is not saying Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Shalak Rayam Mawaf upon Wababal Ba'ashem Yahushua Thawada Aman. Brothers ain't saying that. Brothers not doing none of those things no more. Brothers just waking up and just living. Waking up and just doing. The Lord ain't ain't on that type of timing. And he not choosing nobody that's on that type of timing. The Lord didn't hire part-time soldiers. Gucci Mane said in his song on his first day out, right, in his first day out song, he said, all my artists dipped. Guess they thought that it was over. I knew that I jumped ship because they was part-time soldiers. Right? We not trying to have no part-time soldiers. The Lord can't do nothing with part-time soldiers. Sometimes he meant the same part-time soldiers is what's finna get Babylon obliterated. Because the Lord said that the mighty men of Babylon have forbidden the fight. Those are part-time soldiers that this country got. The Lord ain't got no room for part-time soldiers in his army. Because we getting ready to conquer and have dominion, the first dominion, as it say. We ain't got no time for part-time soldiers, brothers that's ready to fight and then not ready to fight. What did Moses say? Salaki, let me grab this real quick, Kapad. Right? Let me finish this, and then I'm going to grab that. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, meaning come back to doing this work. Or else I will come unto thee quickly, right, and will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. What does your candlestick represent? A candle brings light. What does light represent? Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. The Lord can snatch that back from you and take it. Now you don't know the breakdowns. You don't even know Deuteronomy 28 no more.
You got the parable of the 10 virgins.
Yeah, you got the parable of the 10 virgins. Where they ain't had no oil. They had to go and find it. Because they spent time playing in their ass all the time. Figure of speech. Playing in their ass the whole time. Right? So he said, I remove your candlestick out of this place. Here, snatch your wisdom and knowledge away from you. Make it unattainable to you now. You forgetting the breakdowns. You don't know. You don't know what Daniel 7 and 3 is talking about. You don't know what damn Revelation 13 and 16 is talking about. Right? You don't know what Exodus 21 and 16 is talking about no more. You don't know what none of these things is going into. Because the Lord didn't remove your candlestick, and now you back a nigga in the world. You back a nigga in the world now. Let me grab this. Speaking on the part-time soldiers. Damn, how you say this verse? Because I can't remember exactly where it's at. I gotta type in. All right, yeah, Deuteronomy 20 and 8. All right. Deuteronomy 20 and 8. It says, and the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Right? So the officers is the people that's over the army, over the footmen. Right? And they should ask. They got to yell out into the crowd of the army. Hey, who's scared? Who run to go home? Who ain't ready to fight? Who sometimesy with this shit? It says, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart. So they said, hey, if you scared, take your ass home. If you ain't really in this and you ain't ready to die today, nigga, go home. Because the spirit of fear, it spreads like a damn cancer. The spirit of laziness, it spreads like a damn cancer. The spirit of second guessing, it spreads like a damn cancer. The spirit of questioning is spread like a damn cancer. And all these things is what we don't fucking need in this truth. We need men that's sure-footed, that's well-rounded, men that's circumspect, men that's ready to die today for this thing. Because that's what we got coming. You either got death or you got getting beamed up. And if you're getting death, you're going to get beamed up ultimately. So it's better to just live a soldier's life, man. And not a part-time soldier, but a full-time soldier. Right? Why? To say the rest of the body. It say, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart. Let me read this in another translation. Now I'm going to give it to you, Kapad. See what it say in the NLT. It say in the NLT, then the officers will also say Is anyone here afraid or worried? If you are, you may go home before you frighten anyone else. Because why that spirit of fear can spread like a cancer, right? And we don't need the spirit of laziness to spread like a cancer either. The spirit of idleness, we don't need that. The spirit of disobedience, we don't need that. We need full-time soldiers in this truth that's ready to lay down and put in this labor. You got it up.
But it's really standing on business. So boom. What we also gotta understand is the election of the Most High is according to grace. It's not according to how many works you put in, what you've did in the past, the lessons, how many people you've woken up, right? You got to actually stick to the blueprint. We know those who are going to be saved. We know the condition and the mindset according to prophecy. We know their works. We know their diligence. So reading prophecy, we got to pinpoint what passage fits our description, how we're living. See what I'm saying? Let me break this down though. This Romans 11 and verse 6. Let me see. Mm, I'm gonna go verse 5. Even so, then at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. So this election is according to grace. You see what I'm saying? So, and if by grace, then it is no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then is it no more grace? Otherwise, work is no more work. You see what I'm saying? So just having that in mind, it brings a different perspective to how you should view justice, truth in general. Because if you're doing the works, you're in a position of having grace, right? Because the Most High buzz a lot of people out, um, and a lot of people aren't living right. A lot of people aren't able to pinpoint their mistakes, their fallacies, and shit like that. If you can even pinpoint what you're doing wrong, you're in a position of being able to fix that. A lot of people they make mistakes and they don't even know they're making a mistake, right? So they're given to their own deceit, their own destruction. All right. Let me bring this. What am I thinking about? What am I Put a pot. Yeah, let's go here. Let me bring this up. So, boom. So so let's go to first Samuel. Okay. Share my screen real quick. First Samuel 10, and let's go to verse. Mm-mm-mm. So, like I was talking about before, this is Saul, right? Saul was chosen to be a wicked man, but prior to that, the Most High placed His Spirit upon Saul, right, to be great in the midst of the people, and just to then bug them out later on, right? And the Most High foreseeing this vision. This was His plan all along. Saul was never meant to be a righteous man throughout the totality of his life. And we can relate this to us. Hopefully, we can't relate this to us, but we should be able to put it into perspective and not look at ourselves in a highly esteemed manner just because of what we've done out here. You see what I'm saying? The stripes that we've put in, right? So, verse 6, and the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee. Let me see. Let's start up a little bit. Party. Okay, let's go to verse 1. Then Samuel took a vial of oil So Saul is being anointed by Samuel and poured it upon his head and kissed him and said, is it not because the Lord hath anointed thee to be captain over his inheritance? Right? Which is Israel. So going down to verse 6, and the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee. Saul was given the Holy Spirit, and thou shalt prophesy with them, and shall be turned into another man. So from the person that Saul was, he would be likened unto a whole different man, and that's how people perceived him. Verse 7, and let it be when these signs are come unto thee, that thou do as occasion serve thee, for God is with thee. Let's see. It's Solomon the prophets. Let me see where that is.
Might be the next chapter. You in 9? I mean, no, you in 10, right? Oh yeah, you in 10.
I'm in 10.
Uh,
It's Solomon the prophets. We just said he would be likened unto a new person. So it's verse 11. And it came to pass when all that knew him before time saw that, behold, he prophesied among the prophets. Then the people said one to another, what is this that is come unto the son of Kish? Is Saul among the prophets? And one of the same place answered and said, but who is their father? Therefore it became a proverb, is Saul also among the prophets? And when he had made an end of prophesying, he came to the high place, and Saul's uncle said unto him and to his servant, whither went ye? And he said, to seek the asses. Okay, so that's basically the end of that. And then you have all the way in verse 16 when Saul got bugged out, right? So 1 Samuel 16 and verse 14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord troubled him. So this is all by the Lord's volition to put Saul in a greatly esteemed and exalted position in front of the people, giving him his Holy Spirit, right? Um, even prophesying amongst the prophets, just to then give him an evil spirit from the same God, right? So that gives a whole nother perspective when you go to places like, what is it, Wisdom of Solomon? That's 15. Let me see. Mm, yeah, 15 should be 15. So this is where Paul gets the thesis on uh, the Most High being the potter and us being the clay. Let's see, verse 7, right? So Saul was made righteous, then he was made wicked. This is Wisdom of Solomon 15 and verse 7. For the potter, tempering soft earth, fashioneth every vessel with much labor for our service. Yea, of the same clay he maketh both the vessels that serve for clean uses, and likewise also all such as serve the contrary to the contrary. But what is the use of either sort? The potter himself is the judge. So the potter can make a vessel clean or unclean, right? He can fix it to break it. He can fuck it up just to fix it in its end state. So the Most High can do what He wants to do with you. That's why I brought out Romans 11 when it speaks about the election is according to grace at the end of the day. But we know what those that receive grace at the end of the day would be doing. So we got to confine ourselves to that description. I'm gonna read that one more time. Cause Paul really be spitting. Niggas just don't know what the fuck he be talking about. If you go to your Bible, let me see. Especially if you got a 1611, Damn, I don't know if it's gonna show, but you got a bunch of footnotes, right? If you go to Paul, you're gonna have a bunch of fucking footnotes from the Old Testament. It breaks itself down. I don't even think Christians can read Paul and actually reference the footnotes because it cuts them. It cuts themselves, right? Anyway, let me finish out with that last shit. Romans 11, verse 5. Even so, then at this present time also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. And if by grace, then is it no more of works? Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then is it no more grace? Otherwise, work is no more work. So Saul was given the Spirit, but he didn't receive that grace because the party could do what he wants to do with the clay. So what is the Most High doing with you? In that perspective, we have control over our actions. But at the end of the day, the Most High can do what he wants to do with you. And that shit should give you a little wake up call. Like maybe I should change up. Maybe I'm hearing this for a certain reason and I need to change up my ways, put a little bit more work in, stop doing certain things. Cause you could even be out on the street in a righteous, highly exalted state. But that little shit you doing behind the scenes that may fuck you up. Right? The Most High sends evil spirits to the same people that he sends righteous spirits to. You feel what I'm saying?
Uh, with the
You got
potter,
something else to say?
Slagia, with the potter having the power of the clay, the potter can make you into a cup. The potter can make you into a vase to hold flowers. The potter can make you into a damn ashtray. You can't be mad. The potter can make you into a garbage can if you want to, right? So the garbage can can't say why I can't be a vase. I want to be a vase now. No, you got to be what the potter made you to be, because that's what you were created to be. You was created as a vessel for dishonor, a vessel to hold trash, right? You wasn't created as a vessel for nourishment, a vessel to be a plate. I mean, a vessel as a plate or a vessel as a damn cup or something to help bodily nourishment. You wasn't created for that purpose. You wasn't created as a vessel for beauty, to hold flowers and all of that. You was created to be a trash can. So you got to serve your purpose in being a trash can. You can't call out the potter for creating you into what you is. It don't work like that.
And guess what? If we don't got no trash can, there's gonna be an influx of trash every fucking well. I
Exactly.
was going into this before, and that niggas talk down on the nigga that's holding the door, right, on his position. But you know how important his position is? The same niggas that talking shit about him, boom, he can shut the door. You can't even get in.
Right.
Same nigga that was talking shit on his position, they can't even get in no more. Right? So you just gotta play your part, cause naturally people fall into their position. Um, Going into that, you gotta know what your name means, my nigga. My name means to gather together and cut off. I go to the trenches, nigga. That's what I do. I'm liking that to a sheepdog that puts the sheep into the pen, nigga. Kazak, his name means strength, strong. You feel what I'm saying?
It's like my gun, strong shield.
Oh
I'm
shit, yeah,
strong,
yeah.
man. And what a shield do? It defend the doctrine,
That's what we've been doing,
defend the word of the
nigga.
Lord. Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I had sent the link to a damn to a white bug out. I don't know if he clicked it. It said he read the message, but I don't know if he clicked it. What's the dude? The Matthew dude?
Matthew.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been seeing him on Facebook. I don't be reading his shit. Like he be sending long ass messages and shit like that.
Yeah, he
I
inboxed
ain't
me
reading
out.
that
And then
shit.
I asked him, I was like, do God love everybody? He said, yeah. I was like, all right, you go get a link on Friday. Well, I don't know. He ain't clicked
I
it. I
love
sent it to
everybody.
him, but
That
he ain't
shit
clicked it.
crazy.
Yeah, he said, God love everybody.
He loves the people that he promised to make war with for generation to generation. The
Right.
people he promised to annihilate off the face of the earth. Shit don't make no fucking sense.
Yeah, it don't. Definitely don't. But Con, I don't think he go click the link. So we go ahead and wrap it up. These Christians, they be running scary.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all like the video. I got another video coming out. I got to film probably tomorrow because the live stream that we did going into Ariala's breakdown on the fallen angels having sex with women. I watched the replay and the audio. My audio is fucked up, so in a lot of portions, I'm talking, breaking some shit down, but you can't even hear
Did he
anything, bro.
did he ever double back on that?
No, I don't think so.
He ain't respond to us.
I don't think so. I'm gonna spin the block
Brothers,
though for
the
sure.
brothers just be ignoring us. They gotta ignore us because we be pulling out those points. Cause I don't know what the brother from A-Host. I don't know what he is talking about. I don't know what the hell he is talking about. He is on there playing both sides to me. I don't like that. Right? The brother Eliel. He a good brother though. Be going into the history and all that. But all that playing both sides, we ain't got time for that. Brother, do you believe this? Do you stand by it? Or you don't? Which one is it? If you don't stand by it, brother, post your disagreements. Bring them out. If you do stand by it, let that be known. We let it be known. We ain't standing by that. But when brothers came out saying that the new moon ain't the Sabbath, we let that shit be known. When brothers came out saying Moses left the truth, we let that be known that we disagree with that. Yahweh Shai Christ said, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. He ain't never say play the fence because you cool with these brothers. Fuck all that. I'd rather be cool with none of you niggas and cool with the Lord. And on the right side of the Lord. I'd rather be cool with none of you niggas, man. And be cool with the Most High. On his good side. That's what it is. And that's what it's gonna be. Right? So, I ain't been seeing nothing else brothers been coming with. I ain't been seeing brothers been on their P's and Q's lately. They know them angels in the waters, them shark fins in the water. Them shark fins in the waters, man. Right? Them shark fins in the waters, they've been knowing they don't even want to dip their toe in the water in some false doctrine. Don't do it. You better not. You better not. If you know what's good for you. Niggas lucky our numbers ain't up there. A lot of niggas are being embarrassed right now with the shit we've been dropping. If our numbers was going crazy and the whole nation was watching us. But we cool, we humble. We humble. But it's all good though.
Man, wait till I get my new equipment, man. I just need a fucking battery. I would have had the trenches videos come back, but my battery, bro, it only lasts like fucking
Your
30
camera
minutes
battery.
and shit. Yeah, bro. I gotta order me a new one. But I got this like movie camera. So my shit finna look real cinematic. That shit finna be beautiful in that motherfucker. Man. Real trenches shit. But hell yeah, man. So that's the live stream. Make sure y'all like the video. We go live back. Try to go live every Friday, cause we're gonna start by getting active.
Yeah, Con.
But hey, yeah, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to Angels of Yahweh as well as Murder Hound Prophets. Man, my name Preschool Pod with Murder Hound Prophets under Angels of Yahweh, man.
Con. Brothers gonna be in South Carolina end of this month, man. End of this month, man. All the angels, we finna be in South Carolina. Border South Carolina, Augusta, Georgia. You can kind of say Augusta, Georgia, but we gonna be on the cuffs of both. So if you're in the area, and want to check brothers out, want to come, hey, hit the inbox, hit the brother Kapad on Facebook. What's your name? Kapad J Real.
Kapad J Real.
Right, Kapad J Real on Facebook. Right, hit me Kazak Magun on Facebook. Right, or tap into DOSD reloaded at gmail.com. Hit the email. If you want to be part of the body, hit the email or hit the brother Kapad, whatever area you in, we recruiting. We're recruiting, brother. So, all praise to the Most High. Just hit the inbox. Right? No part-time soldiers, though. Y'all stay y'all ass where y'all at. We don't
niggas ready to die on that.
Exactly.
Gotta be ready to die, my niggas.
Gotta be ready to die. Hey, like I said in the beginning, make the kingdom or die trying, man. Get the kingdom or die trying. Right?
Kind of
Get
gangster being
being.
risen back up from the dead, ain't it?
Who is that? Jew baby.
Little baby Shalom sister.
Shalom, sis. All praise to the Most High. All praise.
Well, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. With that, we're gonna give our praise, honor, glory to the Most High God, the Holy One of Israel, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Right. Shalom, nigga.
Shalom.